In the heart of rural England, the Bennet family eagerly awaits news of their new neighbor, Mr. Bingley. Mrs. Bennet, with her mind firmly set on her daughter's marriages, sees in Mr. Bingley a promising opportunity. Amidst a flurry of excitement, Mr. Bennet's dry wit provides a humorous contrast as he teases his family about meeting Mr. Bingley. In an unexpected revelation, Mr. Bennet delights his family by disclosing his visit to Mr. Bingley, much to Mrs. Bennet's relief. The Bennet sisters, particularly Jane and Elizabeth, are intrigued by the prospect of meeting the eligible Mr. Bingley. With a ball on the horizon, the Bennets look forward with anticipation to meeting Mr. Bingley, each with their own hopes and expectations. At the local ball, Jane's grace captures Bingley's attention, while Darcy's reserved nature leads to a misunderstanding with Elizabeth. In the comfort of their home, Jane and Elizabeth ponder over the contrasting dispositions of Bingley and Darcy. Charlotte Lucas, a pragmatic friend of Elizabeth, discusses the nuances of marriage and courtship in their society. While Jane and Bingley's affection blossoms, Elizabeth's sharp wit meets Darcy's stoic pride, sparking an intriguing tension. Mr. Collins, a clergyman and the Bennet sisters' distant cousin, arrives with intentions that stir the family dynamics. Elizabeth, observant and astute, detects Darcy's hidden interest amidst Caroline Bingley's thinly veiled envy. In a moment of uncomfortable expectation, Elizabeth stands firmly against societal norms, rejecting Mr. Collins' proposal. Amidst a verbal duel of wit and sarcasm, Darcy finds himself increasingly captivated by Elizabeth's spirited nature. Charlotte Lucas, valuing security over romance, pragmatically accepts Mr. Collins' proposal, leaving Elizabeth to ponder the complexities of marriage. Jane's hopes are dampened by Miss Bingley's letter, subtly steering Bingley away from her and towards Darcy's sister. The news of Charlotte's engagement to Mr. Collins stirs varied reactions in the Bennet household, particularly Elizabeth's astonishment. Mr. Collins, ever boastful, prattles on about his esteemed patroness, Lady Catherine, much to the amusement and annoyance of the Bennets. In a local gathering, Mr. Collins' attempts at socializing only serve to deepen Elizabeth's discomfort and disinterest. Elizabeth meets Mr. Wickham, whose charm and tale of misfortune with Mr. Darcy intrigues her, casting Darcy in a dubious light. Elizabeth shares Wickham's grievances against Darcy with Jane, who, ever the optimist, urges caution in jumping to conclusions. At the Netherfield ball, the simmering tension between Elizabeth and Darcy comes to the fore, their dance a mix of elegance and underlying discord. Charlotte's acceptance of Mr. Collins' proposal leaves Elizabeth grappling with her friend's pragmatic approach to marriage. In the Bennet household, Mr. Bennet's wry humor contrasts sharply with Mrs. Bennet's dismay over Charlotte's engagement to Mr. Collins. Elizabeth reflects on Charlotte's choice, grappling with the realities of marriage as a necessity for women in their society. At the Lucas household, Elizabeth witnesses the new dynamics of Charlotte's married life and Mr. Collins' continued sycophancy. The Bennet family faces disappointment as news arrives of Bingley's extended absence, with Elizabeth suspecting the manipulative hand of Miss Bingley. Elizabeth and Jane ponder over Bingley's sudden departure, questioning the integrity of his sisters and Darcy's undue influence. The Bennet household is abuzz with the unexpected news of Charlotte's engagement to Mr. Collins, leaving Elizabeth conflicted. Elizabeth and Jane ponder over Charlotte's engagement, with Elizabeth expressing concern for her friend's future happiness. Elizabeth visits Charlotte and Mr. Collins, witnessing firsthand the peculiarities and compromises of their married life. In the grand estate of Rosings, Elizabeth meets the formidable Lady Catherine, whose arrogance and condescension fail to intimidate her. At Rosings, Elizabeth is subjected to Lady Catherine's overbearing scrutiny, while Mr. Collins remains obsequiously devoted. A revealing conversation with Colonel Fitzwilliam brings to light Darcy's role in separating Bingley from Jane, deepening Elizabeth's resentment. In an unexpected turn, Elizabeth and Darcy's conversation at Rosings reveals a more amiable and considerate side of Darcy. Darcy's visits to the parsonage mark a shift in their relationship, with conversations that are more cordial and reflective. Elizabeth grapples with new insights into Darcy's character, torn between her growing understanding and resentment over his interference in Jane's romance. In a moment charged with emotion, Darcy's proposal to Elizabeth, marred by Pride and Prejudice, is met with a resolute rejection. Darcy's letter reveals the complexities of his actions and the truth about Wickham, prompting Elizabeth to question her previous perceptions. As Elizabeth ponders over Darcy's revelations, her understanding deepens, leading to a significant shift in her feelings towards him. Back in the familiar surroundings of her home, Elizabeth's experiences at Rosings have visibly altered her, a change noted by her father. In a heartfelt exchange, Elizabeth and Jane confide in each other about their romantic tribulations, though Elizabeth withholds the full truth. Lydia's invitation to Brighton stirs excitement and apprehension as Elizabeth worries about her younger sister's lack of discretion. In a moment of sisterly trust, Elizabeth reveals to Jane the tumultuous events at Rosings, leaving Jane astonished and supportive. As Lydia departs for Brighton, unaware of the potential consequences, Wickham's fickle affections shift, leaving Elizabeth contemplative. Elizabeth, now seeing Darcy in a different light, contemplates her feelings. A proposed trip with the Gardiners sparks a sense of anticipation. In the elegant halls of Pemberley, Elizabeth discovers a different side of Darcy, his generosity and kindness reflected in his home and his staff's esteem. A chance encounter with Darcy at Pemberley reveals a man changed, his cordiality and grace marking a stark contrast to their previous interactions. The dinner at Pemberley further cements Elizabeth's revised opinion of Darcy as she witnesses his genuine warmth and kindness, especially towards his sister. Amidst the tranquility of Pemberley, Elizabeth receives alarming news of Lydia's reckless elopement with Wickham, casting a shadow over her newfound happiness. In a flurry of distress, Elizabeth and the Gardiners hasten back to her family as the gravity of Lydia's elopement weighs heavily upon them. Mr. Bennet's return without Lydia deepens the family's despair as they grapple with the potential social ruin brought by her indiscretion. The Bennet household is engulfed in turmoil, with Mrs. Bennet particularly stricken by Lydia's scandal, while Elizabeth laments her silence about Wickham. Amidst the crisis, Mr. Bennet confronts his shortcomings as a father. Relief comes with news of Lydia's impending marriage, mitigating the family's disgrace. Lydia returns as Mrs. Wickham, blissfully unaware of the gravity of her actions, inadvertently hinting at Darcy's mysterious role in her marriage. Seeking clarity, Elizabeth writes to Mrs. Gardiner about Darcy's involvement, while Mr. Bennet learns of the financial settlement for Lydia's marriage. Elizabeth learns of Darcy's selfless actions in resolving Lydia's situation, his silent generosity igniting a profound gratitude and affection in her heart. Bingley's return to Netherfield sparks a renewed hope in Jane, while Elizabeth ponders the possibility of Darcy's hand in this reconciliation. Bingley's renewed courtship of Jane is marked by earnest affection, while Elizabeth quietly yearns for Darcy's return and the opportunity to express her gratitude. Lady Catherine de Bourgh, in a bold intrusion, confronts Elizabeth with demands and threats, only to be met with Elizabeth's unwavering resolve and dignity. Elizabeth, deep in thought, considers the implications of Lady Catherine's visit, pondering the possibility of Darcy's enduring affection. In a moment of heartfelt sincerity, Darcy once again proposes to Elizabeth. This time, their mutual understanding and love paved the way for her acceptance. In a moment of openness, Elizabeth and Darcy reminisce about their journey from misunderstanding to love, acknowledging the growth and change in each other. The revelation of Elizabeth and Darcy's engagement brings a whirlwind of reactions in the Bennet household, from shock to joy and heartfelt conversations. As the story draws to a close, the Bennet household rejoices in the engagement of Jane and Elizabeth. The narrative concludes with reflections on the marriages and the characters' futures, embodying the triumph of love, understanding, and personal growth.